She's dead. She's not unconscious. She's not dreaming. She is actually completely dead, killed by people who knew exactly who she was, exactly where to find her, and exactly why she needed to stop existing. And now she's somewhere else, somewhere dark. No floor, no ceiling, no sound, just nothing in every direction. Then a daemon appears. It tells her its name is Kai. It lives right at the border between the world of the living and the world of the dead. And it gives her a choice. She can stay dead, which is permanent. Or she can go back to the people who want her dead, back to the brother she's never met, back to a life of being hunted, but only if she agrees to awaken a power that was always going to be hers. The power called Break. She thinks about everything waiting for her on the other side. She chooses to go back. And the first thing she does when she returns to the living world is deal with the people who killed her. Her right eye is different when she comes back. Something changed in the crossing. She covers it with a patch. What's underneath isn't for other people to see. This is the story of two twins who are born to carry powers that can only be unlocked by dying first. One of them has already paid that price. The other one doesn't know it's coming yet. The story starts in a place that looks like it belongs in a history book. No phones, no cars, no electricity, just a small mountain village surrounded by forest where people wear simple clothes, cook over fire, and live the way people lived hundreds of years ago. And in the middle of all this, there's a 16-year-old boy named Yuru. Yuru is a hunter. He's blonde, lean, and he knows this forest better than most people know their own house. He's been hunting here his whole life, tracking animals, reading the terrain, moving through the trees without making a sound. He's good at it. It's basically the only life he's ever known. He's never left this mountain. He's never needed to. His whole world is right here. But there's someone who keeps him rooted to this place more than anything else. Her name is Asa. She's his twin sister born the same night as him, just a few hours later. And she doesn't have the freedom that Yuru does. She lives in a single room inside the village, cut off from almost everyone. She's told it's her duty, that her staying inside is what keeps the village safe. The only people allowed to see her are Yuru and their grandmother. So every day, Yuru brings her food. He tells her what the forest looks like. He keeps her company. He's organized his entire life around not abandoning her, because she's his sister, the person he was separated from at birth, and that bond is the most real thing he has. Then, one day, something appears in the sky. Yuru looks up and sees what he thinks are the trails of passing dragons. He's seen these his whole lifelong white lines cutting through the air, far above. The village elders call them dragon trails. He's never had any reason to think otherwise. And then, something strange happens. The sound that usually comes with them is louder today. Much louder. Because it's not a dragon. It's a plane. And it just tore through some kind of invisible wall around the village and shattered it. And immediately after that, the helicopters arrive. Yuru has never seen a helicopter. To him, it looks like some kind of mechanical creature. His friend Danji fires an arrow at one. The arrow bounces off harmlessly. And then soldiers drop down with rifles. And Yuru's world ends with a sound he's also never heard before, the sound of gunfire in a village where nobody has ever seen a gun. The attack is fast and brutal and completely one-sided. The villagers have bows and farm tools against automatic weapons. They stand no chance. And moving through the chaos is a girl who makes it even worse. Her name is Gabby. And when she makes biting motions with her hands, an invisible daemon with a mouthful of teeth copies the movement, tearing through people who can't even see what's killing them. Yuru fights back the only way he knows with his bow, from cover, moving like the hunter he is. But the real blow doesn't come from the soldiers or from Gabby. It comes from inside the village. A girl with long black hair and an eye patch walks straight into the chaos. She looks nothing like the Asa that Yuru knows. She goes directly to the room where his sister is kept, and she kills the person inside. The person Yuru has spent 16 years caring for. Gone, just like that. Yuru is ready to fight this stranger until she says something that stops him cold. She looks at him and says, "I am Asa, your real sister." Before Yuru can process any of this, a traveling merchant named Dara, someone he's seen around the village before, someone he thought was just a regular trader, shoves a jade pendant into his hand. He tells Yuru his blood needs to touch it. Yuru cuts his palm. The blood hits the jade, and the ground shakes. Two guardian daemons rise from somewhere deep inside the village, one male, one female. They're humanoid, ancient, and powerful in a way that's immediately obvious. Their names are Right and Left, and they confirm without hesitation that the eye patch girl's blood smells identical to Yuru's. She really is his twin sister. But then, what was the girl in the room? Left takes on Gabby's daemon while Right searches for survivors. Yuru doesn't hang back. He positions himself with his bow and puts arrows into Gabby every time there's an opening, because the hunter in him doesn't know how to stand still while a fight is happening. Eventually, Asa calls her forces back. She confirms Yuru is alive. That's apparently all she needed to know right now. She withdraws. And Yuru is left standing in the wreckage of the only home he's ever had, next to two ancient guardian spirits, holding a jade pendant from a merchant he never fully trusted, staring at the body of the person he thought was his sister. Who was she? What was she? And who built this lie and why? The girl in the room is gone. Left and Right are at Yuru's side. And Dara, the merchant, who just handed him a pendant and changed everything, is telling him they need to leave. Now, before more soldiers arrive. He doesn't explain everything. Just move. Yuru goes with him. He doesn't have a better option. The first person Dara takes him to is a woman named Hana. She's sharp, no nonsense, and clearly not surprised to see them. She was expecting this, which means she's been part of whatever Dara has actually been doing all along. She tells Yuru she'll help keep him hidden and safe while they figure out the next step. That's all she offers for now. Then they travel, and this is when Yuru's world breaks open for the second time in one day. The first car he sees, he doesn't recognize as something safe to be near. The first building with electric lights stops him completely. Everything that most people on this planet take for granted, engines, electricity, roads, phones, is alien to him. He grew up in a place where none of it existed, and now he's standing in the middle of it with no frame of reference for any of it. It hits him all at once, and it doesn't stop hitting. They reach the safe house, an apartment Dara and Hana have arranged. And here, for the first time, Yuru meets the rest of Hana's household, a dog named Jiro and a cat named Kotetsu. They're her daemons. When Yuru is introduced to them, he bows formally, with complete sincerity, the way he'd greet any creature that deserves respect. The dog and cat look at him, then they each lift a paw and tap it down. It's the first moment in the show that makes you laugh. And it tells you everything about Yuru, someone who grew up treating the world around him with total seriousness, with no one ever teaching him that small animals are beneath ceremony. Once they're settled, Dara explains what he can. The twins, Yuru and the eye patch girl, were born for a reason. They're tied to two specific powers called Seal and Break. What those powers do exactly, and why so many people want control of them, isn't fully clear yet. But the fact that armed soldiers destroyed an entire village to find two teenagers tells you the powers are worth killing for. Dara also tells him that a family called the Kagemoris is connected to all of this. Their forces were part of the attack on the village, and they already know Yuru is off the mountain. He's barely been outside the village for a day, and factions are already moving around him. They want him to stay in the apartment. Rest, adjust, wait. Yuru nods. Then Hana walks past the spot where he was sitting and realizes he's gone. She's already reaching for her phone. Kotetsu is already on the scent. Yuru has already left. Yuru has one goal: find Asa and get answers. He doesn't care that he doesn't know the city. He doesn't care that he has no phone, no money, and no understanding of how anything around him works. He has a machete and 16 years of training as a hunter, and those two things have always been enough. He follows what Left and Right can track traces of Asa's blood scent, faint but there. The trail leads to a warehouse, and the moment he steps inside, he realizes he walked into a trap. Jin Kagemori is waiting for him. Jin is the son of the Kagemori clan's head, and he is exactly what you'd expect from someone who grew up in a family of professional daemon users, calm, precise, and completely in control of how this situation should go. He has two associates with him, Haruo, who commands a hare and tortoise daemon pair, and Akio, who carries a crowbar with the ease of someone who uses it more than he uses a pen. The trap was baited with Asa's blood specifically, because they knew Left and Right would follow it. They were right. But they were wrong about what Yuru would do when the trap closed. He doesn't panic, he doesn't charge. He reads the room faster than the people who set it up, expected angles, positions, openings, and within seconds, he has his machete at Jin's throat. And Jin is the hostage, and the people who came to capture Yuru are the ones who've lost control of the situation. Haruo and Akio freeze. Yuru's demands are simple. He wants to talk to Asa, in person. That's it. He's not here for revenge. He's not here to fight. He wants his sister and he wants answers, and Jin being alive is the only currency available to make that happen. The Kagemori men expected a threat or a ransom. They did not expect someone who just wants a conversation. Jin surprises everyone, his own men included, by doing something Yuru didn't ask for. He takes direct responsibility for the attack on the village. He says it clearly, to Yuru's face, without softening it. His subordinates look visibly thrown. This was apparently not the plan. Yuru could kill Jin right now. He has the position for it. He doesn't. Not because he's forgiving Jin, he's not, but because he can see that Jin isn't running on hatred. Jin works within a system, and he did what the system required, and killing him here changes nothing about the system. What Yuru needs is information, not revenge. He tells Jin to arrange a meeting with Asa. Jin makes a different offer instead. Come to Kagemori Manor. Asa is there. They can talk properly. Yuru knows exactly what this is, walking into the enemy's stronghold, on their terms. He calls it out loud, like walking into a bear's den. Then he takes stock of every daemon he can see on Jin's side, counts what they're capable of, and agrees under one condition. Left and right must be treated with respect. Jin agrees without blinking. And that instant agreement should have worried Yuru more than it did. The moment Yuru and left and right cross into the Kagemori Manor, left and right go quiet. Not respectful, quiet. Alert quiet. The kind of quiet that says they are measuring something and don't like what the numbers are adding up to. Because this compound doesn't just have strong demons in it, it has demons everywhere. So many that the estate itself feels like a weapon pointed in every direction at once. The Kagemori clan isn't a powerful family with some daemons. It's a small army that happens to have a house attached to it. Asa, meanwhile, has been preparing for this reunion since she found out Yuru was coming. She asked Gabby what to wear. Gabby made fun of her. She is 16 years old, and her older twin brother, who she has basically been reaching toward her entire life without ever getting to touch, is about to walk through the door. She has been waiting for this moment for years. Yuru walks through the door. Asa completely loses her composure. She asks for a hug. Yuru says no. Not cruelly. He just says it. He tells her he's there for answers, not a reunion. The person he called his sister for 16 years turned out to be something built from blood and controlled by someone else. He doesn't know Asa. He doesn't know what to trust yet. He turns down the hug because the hug would require him to feel something he hasn't had time to verify. Asa collects herself. She tells him she doesn't want to lie to him, and she starts answering questions. Their parents. Yuru had assumed they were dead. He was wrong. About 10 years ago, their parents fled the village in the middle of the night with young Asa in tow. The lord of the village, a man named Shime Higashimura, had become obsessed with the twins' prophecy and ordered every set of twins in the village to be killed, wiping out the competition, basically, for the powers he wanted. Their parents grabbed Asa and ran. The Kagemori clan found them, protected them from assassination attempts for years, multiple attacks by people sent from the village, all turned back by the Kagemori's people. And Asa says this without hesitation, defending them clearly. The Kagemori clan was the only family who showed up for her. Then things calmed down. Their mother wanted to visit her side of the family. Both parents boarded a plane in Tokyo, headed for Okinawa. The plane never landed. Neither parent has been seen since. The silence after Asa says this is the loudest moment in the episode, because Yuru is now inside a compound that is connected to every unresolved event in his family's history. And he can't leave. And even if he could, he needs to stay, because the only lead on his parents goes through this family. Then the building explodes. Not literally, but close enough. Unknown attackers breach the manor walls. They're organized, they have daemons, and they're not from the village, and they're not Kagemori people. They're a third group that nobody has put a name to yet. The one thing their captured members eventually reveal: they needed Yuru alive before he gets his power. meaning after he gets it, they don't need him alive anymore. The fight is short and brutal. Jin is terrifying in it. Gabby is terrifying in a different way, casual and efficient, in a manner that is somehow more unsettling than all-out aggression. Akio picks up a crowbar like it's a completely normal choice and uses it accordingly. And Yuru, who has been a hunter his whole life, slots into this violence with a focus that is a little disturbing given how recently he saw a car for the first time. Asa uses break to tear apart a binding barrier that one of the attackers traps Yuru inside. When she does it, you feel the weight of the power, not flashy, not clean, just force released all at once, like something that's been held down, finally letting go. The attacker who knows the mastermind's name dies before he can say it. The next morning, Yuru looks at his sister across the quiet and asks about the eye patch. She tells him she doesn't want to lie to him. Then she says, "I've died before." Asa's story starts when she was in her early teens. By then, she had been living under Kagemori protection for years, hidden, safe, or so everyone thought. But the village found a gap. An assassin got through, and Asa was killed. Actually killed. And then she woke up somewhere dark, somewhere between the world she came from and wherever the dead go. That's where she met Kai, the daemon that lives at the exact boundary between life and death, waiting for the children of the prophecy to arrive. It gave her two options: stay dead or go back with break. She chose to go back. When she returned, her right eye had changed. Something from the crossing came back with her and settled behind it. She covers it with the eye patch because it's not something she wants to explain to people. It's hers. The assassins who killed her did not survive the night. While Yuru listens to all of this, something in his memory shifts. He has his own story, one he never understood properly until right now. When he was a child, a man appeared in the village, dressed like a local, acting like a traveler passing through. He attacked Yuru. Young Yuru barely survived. He's carried it as a random, scary childhood memory ever since. A bandit, he thought. Wrong place, wrong time. But the village was sealed off from the outside world. Nobody from outside could get in unless someone on the inside let them. There are no random bandits on a mountain that the modern world can't find. That man was sent specifically to kill Yuru, to push him over the same edge that Asa crossed so that Seal would awaken, so that someone could control what happened next. Someone inside the village tried to kill him, and he spent the next several years living inside that village, eating food from those people, protected supposedly by a fake version of his sister that those same people built to keep him from leaving. Think about what that means. The fake Asa wasn't just a lie, she was a leash. Because as long as Yuru believed his sister was in that room, he'd never leave, he'd never abandon her. He would be the perfect guardian for his own cage. The people of the village didn't need to lock him up. They used his love to do it for them. And now 3 separate groups have shown what they want from the twins. The village wants to control the powers using the twins as tools for their own ambitions, willing to kill children to trigger an awakening on their schedule. The unknown third party wants the same thing, just through different hands. In the Kagemori clan, the people Asa trusts most, the people who protected her family, haven't been fully explained yet. Their involvement in the village attack was real. Their connection to the parents' disappearance is still an open question. Dara's group has secrets they haven't shared. Every adult in this story knows more about these twins than the twins know about themselves. That gap between what these factions know and what Yuru and Asa have been allowed to learn is the real trap. Not the warehouse, not the mansion attack. The information they've been kept from is what every faction is using to stay ahead of them. Yuru grew up in a village where the sky was managed and the people he loved were manufactured. He's had the floor pulled out from under him more times in 2 weeks than most people experience in a lifetime. Every new thing he learns reveals that the previous version of the truth was a smaller room inside an even bigger lie. In Seal, his power still hasn't awakened. He hasn't died yet. Which means every group that wants a piece of this prophecy still has something to wait for. They're all holding their positions, watching, planning for the moment when Yuru reaches the same border Asa crossed and has to decide what he comes back as. The question is whether, when that moment arrives, it'll be on someone else's terms. Or his. Asa crossed into death and came back with enough power to tear barriers apart. She did it alone, with no warning and no preparation, when she was barely a teenager. Yuru hasn't crossed yet. But he knows it's coming now. He knows what it costs. He knows what's waiting on the other side. And unlike every faction that's been planning around him his whole life, he's going to walk into it with both eyes open. If you want to be there for when that happens, subscribe, because Seal is coming, and the whole story changes the moment it does.